Yo, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to be showing you the settings and rates that I have on my server. So if you've been interested in that, I know some people have asked me to make this video, then this is the video for you. Stay tuned.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long.
If you want to get your Ark PS4 server set up in minutes instead of messing around in the Nitrado expert settings for hours, then go to arkps4servers.com/settings. Here you'll find downloadable settings codes that you can easily copy and paste to the expert mode settings of your Nitrado server and get your server set up ASAP. And if you want to get more players on your server and grow your community, then you can add your server to the site by going to arkps4servers.com and grow your community today. Yo, what's going on? I'm Cartere from arkps4servers.com, teaching you how to be better. And I've been asked to show you guys what settings I have on my personal server, so I'm going to be showing you guys that in this video and just walking you through the settings that I have. So let's go to this page on the arkps4servers.com site. This is where you can actually, download my server settings. You can come and purchase the file, the PDF and text file that you can use to just copy and paste my server settings into your own server, and then you'll have the same setup that I have. But if you scroll down, you actually see all the information on the server settings that I have. So we'll be using this and this PDF, which is the actual PDF that you'll get, to show you kind of how this works out. Now this is the same settings that pretty much everyone has on their server. I think join notifications, you can change that if you want to. Let's quickly scroll down. Scalability groups, that's all normal stuff. Server settings, session name, I'm not going to show you my session name. If you want to join my server, there'll be a link in the description, or just go to jcartere.com/Ark apply. Only people that register can play on the server legitly. Like if you find it and you're playing on it, then hats off to you. But if you break a rule, you're gonna get banned. And if you're not registered and people break rules against you, don't come to me because you're not registered. But these are basically the settings. Do you want to go through this first? Nah, I think I'll go through these settings so that you can actually see what's going on. So taming speed is 50 times. I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good taming speed because it's quick enough that you're not spending half an hour taming things, and you can tame things pretty quickly. It's almost instant tame, although it's not instant tame, it's almost instant tame. Sometimes you may need to feed something twice if it's a very high level animal or high level dino or something like that. And I like that. I like a little bit of danger when you're taming something. I think taming something and having to protect it is a good part of the game. I don't want people just taming something with one thing and it's just instantly tamed. But if it's a lower level thing, if it's like a pteranodon or it's a low level dino, then instant tame it all you want. But when it gets to the high levels, I want people to be a little bit panicky about another player coming and trying to stop them from taming this tame. So that's why it's on 50 times. Harvesting, we got 15. I think 15 is a good number because it's not too high that you're hitting a rock and you're getting like thousands of stone, but it's not too low that you're grinding forever. Like with 15 times harvesting, you can pretty much get a base up and running in a day, and it's pretty quickly for you to be able to do that. You can amass a lot of resources pretty easily, but 100 times is what I've seen other people do, and I just think that's way too high. Like personally, that is just a madness. Experience is 5 times. 5 times experience is a lot. Like you level up within a day of playing on my server, you can get to level you can get over level 100, which levels up everything. And you got auto unlock engrams, so you don't have to worry about that, and you don't really need to use your engram points because we got auto unlock engrams. So I might actually remove the engram points from my server code eventually because we got auto unlock engrams, because there's no need. You just have engram points sitting there. But 5 times experience has worked pretty well for me. I don't need any more than that. It does it pretty well. Dino hunger multiplier is, it says 2 on here. That's actually incorrect. I need to change this. This is actually at 1. I did change it from 2 to 1. The reason was when you have it on 2, sometimes babies die. Like that's just the realness. I think, is there an actual, no, there's not an actual way to change the baby I'm unsure if there's a way to change the baby. There is a baby consumption speed. There is, but that's on like number 1 anyways. But Dino Hunger Multiplier, I don't think it needs to be on 2 because it's just not necessary. On 1 it works perfectly fine, and you've got to feed them less because you don't need to be grinding all the time and keeping your dinos fed and focusing on upkeep, which is probably the most boring part of the game. Like, upkeep is not what you want to sit around and do. Now, supply crate loot quality multipliers on 5, fishing loot quality multipliers on 5. Supply crate loot quality multiplier is on 5, which doesn't really matter now because I've edited my loot drops and I've done custom loot drops now, and I've added that to my server. If you want to download a custom loot drop game ini file, link will be in the description. That won't actually be in this actual server settings file because this is just my server settings, not the loot drop customization and that sort of stuff. But I set it as 5 because I had it at 10 at one point, and the thing with that, when you have it that high, you get a lot of uncraftable blueprints appearing in the loot drops. So I needed to scale that down to around 5 so that we have less occurrences of that. There's still uncraftable blueprints, but there's much that occurs much less now these days. So I've scaled that down to 5. Draining multiplier, this is the amount of water you drink, and that's 0.2. Starvation multiplier, 0.5. Now these are low so that you don't have to be drinking all the time, you don't have to be eating all the time, because that's not necessary. Although I may just pump it up. I may put it back to like 1, to be honest, because like drinking and eating, it's not super necessary. But well, actually it's at a fine level. It's at a fine level, man. The reason I've set like the whole purpose of my settings is to encourage PvP, make it not as grindy as official servers, but you still have to put work in to attain end game level stuff, and to basically allow people to have more fun. So that's why I've set up the loot drops in a way that you get structures and that sort of stuff, so you can get up and running pretty relatively quickly so that you can get into the action, because that's what I want to focus on, getting people into the action so they can have more fun and there can be more people vying for that alpha position instead of just one tribe that's super powerful and you can't get to, you know, their stage or whatever, and if you get raided then you're super demotivated and you don't want to play anymore, which that still happens to a lot of people because they can't handle it. But that's the name of the game. That's Ark, man. So difficulty is at 12, so we've got level 360 dinos on the server. That's what happens when you set your difficulty to level 12. We've got unlimited weight, which is great so that people don't have to worry about inventory management, which, oh my god, that wastes so much time. I don't believe in having you to needing to go through your inventory all the time. I don't like that. Now breeding rates, we got mating multiplier at 0.1, so you can mate your dinos more. Baby mature speed multiplier at 10, because 10 seemed like a good balance. Like, I think with 10 you can raise a wyvern in 20 hours if I'm correct. It may be less than that, maybe it's 9 hours, I'm not 100% sure, something like that. I think it's like 9 hours. I think it's like 9 hours to raise a wyvern, so that's reasonable. Like, it's 9 hours. It takes a lot of investment of your time and a lot of investment maybe of the time of your tribe or whatever, but it's not 4 days. It's not 4 days. 4 days is mad, and you can pretty much raise pteranodons pretty easily and raise other things without worrying too much. Lay egg interval multiplier is 0.3. Egg hatch multiplier is 10, so again it doesn't take too long for that to happen. And also with 10 you get more chances to actually imprint your dino, which is necessary, because if you have it too high then you may not get to imprint it at all. So that's why I've done that over there. And plus I don't want people just popping out breeded dinos like every couple minutes or whatever, because that would really unbalance the server. It will make people who have the access to breeded dinos, it will make them way more powerful than anyone that's just starting up on the server, and you know, it won't give new players a chance, and it can overpopulate the server with way too many dinos, which will make the server lag and also, you know, just hurt the gameplay experience. So we've got that. Baby imprint and stat scale multiplier, we've got that on 5, so that basically, because you're not able to necessarily imprint your dino all the way to 100% on certain dinos, for example pteranodons, I don't think you can get to 100% if you've got 10 times mature speed. That's why we've got 5 times stat scale multiplier. So now you only have to imprint your dino to 25% imprinting, or no, 20% imprinting for it to count as like 100% imprinting as it was on official. So 100% imprinting on official is 25% imprinting on my server. So if you get to 25, then you're pretty much cool. If you want to go higher than that, then Bob's your uncle, you can do what you want. Baby cuddle grace period multiplier is set at 5. That works out pretty fine. Baby cuddle interval multiplier is 0.1, which is, you know, cool. Actually, I don't think on my server the babies actually don't lose imprinting if you don't cuddle them. So this grace period multiplier doesn't really matter. Anyone in your tribe can cuddle the baby on my server, and crop growth speed is at 25 because you need to make kibble, and to wait a day for your crops to grow is fucking wild. I don't believe in that. I don't believe you plant rock carrot one day and then you need to wait till the next day to be able to use that to create kibble to do what you want to do. I don't like that at all. So I've increased crop growth speed to 25% so that you can create kibble and do all that sort of stuff in a timely manner. It only takes about an hour for your crops to grow. So we have some extra rates and info over here. We've got the resources respawn multiplier 0.5, so resources take half the time as normal to respawn on the server. We've got dino harvesting damage multiplier at 2, so that people are encouraged to use their dinos to harvest things. Dino stamina multiplier 0.5, so you can fly from one place to another and it takes half the amount of stamina, so you don't have to land every, you know, I don't know how often you need to land, but it's not as tedious as official servers. This is basically my little hack to kind of get rid of what they did on official servers, the flyer nerf. This is my like hack to it. And while dinos have 2 times speed, that's included in the hack, that makes flyers have 2 times speed, so they can fly a little bit faster, and they have half the amount of stamina drain. So that just allows people on their dinos to move across the map a little bit more freely, although we haven't made it super OP so that you can just go from one end to another without worrying about that. Dinos also have increased weight, but it's not unlimited. That's very, very important. Their weight is increased but not unlimited, so that you still need to kind of manage a little bit if you want to have a lot of stuff on your person and move from one place to another on your dino, or you need to use dinos that have high weight, so there's still a little bit of strategy involved there. Floating damage text is on. Resource respawn multiplier, that's already been there. I need to delete that. That's showing up twice. Resource health multiplier 0.5, so things like trees and rocks get they get broken more quickly, I think that's what we got here. So it takes less time to go out and gather resources. You're not sitting there just hitting at a resource for ages before you get all the stuff. It's pretty quick and you can get stuff pretty quickly. Third person mode is also enabled. You can use third person mode. Diseases are enabled, but you lose your disease when you respawn, so you can get, you know, swamp fever and that sort of stuff. Have they added new diseases? I don't think they have. They've said that they're going to add new diseases, but I haven't seen them. So you can get diseases, but they go when you respawn, so you don't have to transfer to another server and do all that sort of stuff. Multiple C4 charges can be added to one dino. Flyers will regain stamina while flying. This basically refers to quetzes, so you can dismount your quetz, get on the platform, and the stamina will go up. You have unlimited respecs. This is in reference to using mind wipes, so you can only use mind wipes once per level. Keep that in mind. But if you don't have unlimited respecs on, then I believe you can only use a mind wipe once and then you can't use it ever again. This way you're able to use it once per level. I think they may have fixed this bug. I'm not 100% sure. I don't actually think they have, to be honest. Corpse locator, that shows a beam from your corpse when you die. That's on. Player and dino level cap is raised to 282. So it was supposed to go to 300, but it only went to 282 for some reason. And that's what's happening over there. The player and dino level cap is on 282. 282, while Dino's levels are raised to 360. Turret damage to Dinos is 3.5 times. So because Dinos can get more, they can get more health, they can get leveled up more, we had to beef up the turrets so that turrets would be able to murder them. So you can't just breed like a super Bronto and it will just tank all turrets. Like we wanted to make, well, I wanted to beef up the turrets so that turrets still do their job basically. The tribe log also destroys who destroyed structures. I love this option. I love it because it shows you in the tribe log who destroyed what if you got raided or whatever. So people can't just sneak and raid you overnight and get away with it. So you always know who destroyed your structures. So you always have someone to wreak your havoc on and have revenge, which encourages more PvP, which is what a PvP server is all about, in my opinion. Structures auto decay. So we enabled this so that I wouldn't have to go around on the server and continually delete all the structures that were on there, because that gets super annoying. And this basically means if someone hasn't played for a little while, like if they haven't played in 12 days and they got a stone base, the stone base is gone. If they haven't played in 16 days and they got a metal base, the metal base is gone. Haven't played in a month, tech base gone. That's how it works, and that keeps the server a whole lot more clean, so we don't just have loads of thatch houses sitting about and taking up space and forcing people to use, you know, explosives to get rid of stone bases that no one's using and that sort of stuff. Also added engram points, so solo players will be able to unlock everything. And then I added auto unlock engrams, so you'll unlock tech engrams at level 1 and you don't have to waste time unlocking engrams at every level. So this is pretty much the settings that I have on every server, and as you can see, these are the settings over here, although I don't think it's necessary to actually go through it now because I've basically showed you all these settings on the other page, and it will just be a little confusing if I showed you all the settings on here. But these are like the engram points, and yeah, harvesting dino damage is there, blah blah blah, but we showed you all the changes on the other page, so I guess we'll just stay over here because it's just easier to see. If you do want to download these server settings, then go to arkps4servers.com/J's rates. That will be on the screen right about now, and you can just come here, you can purchase these settings, you'll get the PDF and the text file, and you'll be able to just copy this and paste it over to your server. I do have videos on how to actually do that, or you can purchase a custom setup service and I'll do it for you. That can also be found in the shop. Just go to hire me to set up your server and purchase that service, and I'll just deal with it for you and have your server set up in minutes basically, and have you on your merry way so that you can use, where even if you don't want to use these codes, we've got a bunch of different game ini codes on the site, like 5 times server codes, 50 times server codes, 3 times server codes. I think we got 100 times as well. If you've got any server codes that you want me to make, for example, you know, 150, that seems a bit much, but or 15 times, leave that in the comment section down below and I'll consider it. I will consider it. But if you want a custom code package, just come over here and you can click on that and let me know what you want to be included in your custom code package, and I will create that for you. As long as it's just, you know, you're changing the harvesting, the XP, the taming, stuff like that, you're not getting super deep into it. At that point, if you get super deep into it, then it's going to cost more than just, you know, £25 as stated over here. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope it gave you some insight into the settings that I use on my server and why I use these particular settings and what I hope to achieve with these settings, so that maybe you can change your settings to do something similar, or you can change them completely so that they're nothing like mine, so that you can do something completely different. So yeah, if you got any questions or any suggestions of tutorials or anything like that, leave those in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching and liking and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next Ark Survival Evolved PS4 server tutorial. Peace out. If you want to host your own Ark server, then I recommend renting one from Nitrado. They're also the official server provider for Wildcard. Go to jcartere.com/Nitrado to rent your own Ark server and help out the channel in the process.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long. So all this warmth I share with you.